All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Restorative Yoga. This is going to be one of those practices where you're going to really need to support your body in, like all restorative practices, in the best way possible for your body, because we're going to be working with body parts that tend to be particularly tight for those of us that have office jobs that sit at desks for most of our day, because we'll be working on quadriceps, front of the thigh, and hamstrings, back of the thigh. And since all that is attached to our hips, there's a little bit of sciatic stuff going on, QL, quadratus lumbarum, that low back compartment, so that whole lower body area. So this might be where you grab a chair or a stool. I'll just demonstrate really quickly where we're going to go with one of these things. The front of the thigh, the quadratus, not quadratus, the quad. The idea here is that eventually the thigh opens up enough that you can get your sits bones on the inside of the ankle and the ankle can get flat. But if that's not the case, don't force that. I want you to prop. So you pile stacks of blankets underneath the sits bones so that there's a little bit more space between the floor and the sits bones. We're not going to go there just yet, but I just want to give you a heads up that eventually we will. And we're going to set it up first. So I'm going to grab my chair, which is just over here. Don't worry, I'm not going far. Set it at the back of my mat. And it's kind of like resting against the wall. So you can see the legs of the chair right here. It's kind of resting against the wall, so it's not going to slide away from me. And then I'm going to take some of my pillows, make a little soft landing there. It's like a recliner. And then I have my blocks or books close by. So that's going to be behind me. I'm going to take my left foot forward. Okay, and my right leg's just kind of stretching back towards the whole support system I have behind me. So my left leg forward, my right leg back. I'm going to curl my right toes under, wiggle the right foot back, and then set the knee back down. So I'm trying to prep this thigh, let it know that I'm going to do a little bit of work by moving into it gently with a little bit of dynamic movement first. So see, I'm kind of wobbling side to side. I'm just alerting the muscle tissue, something's coming. And I'm also giving myself a chance to notice how I feel today. Inviting the breath to get a little bit deeper, a little bit more conscious. I'll take about 2 to 3 more breaths here, just kind of waking up that quadricep, that hip flexor on the right side. So just like you would if we were flowing through this and we were going to move our hips back towards Ardha Hanuman, half split, I'm just going to start to shift the hips back, lengthen out through that left leg, and then see if I can set my sits bones down on the inner edge of that right ankle. And then if that ankle isn't laying flat, I'm going to prop my sits bones up. Okay, so there's a little height there, and you can add as much height as you need. So then I'm targeting the top of the thigh, and sometimes that means we have to work with the ankle joint first. Now, for some of us, it might feel more comfortable to just sit upright in this shape. You can do whatever you want with this left leg. It can stretch out, you can bend the knee and plant the foot. It's just kind of this accessory. We're not targeting that just yet. If the body is calling you to lean back, you can lean back into this. Maybe you rest your elbows on your chair behind you if you're using a chair. If your body will let you lengthen out all the way to your back, you can go for that. Doesn't work for me. My quads are pretty tight. That's why I like the chair, because it's taller and I don't have to get as close to the floor. So this might take some exploring, some experimenting Trying to find the right props for you. We have some time here because the muscles of the legs are so much bigger and so much more layered than shoulders, for example. We're going to spend a good amount of time here. I'll set us a timer. Okay, Kitty, but you gotta move, please. Thank you. And just know that as we hold this for time and the body starts to unwind and unravel, the muscles start to loosen up, you can always move some props out of the way if you're feeling like you want to get a little bit deeper into this. Just take it one step at a time. If you like, you can close your eyes if you haven't already. Can you focus on the breath? I think I should rename my YouTube channel Cat Yoga, because this kitty is always right here with me when we're practicing. It's really quite sweet. One of the joys of teaching yoga from home is that I get to practice with my baby fur animals. We're just a little over halfway through this first shape, so if you do feel like you want to go deeper, you could explore that. I think it's important to acknowledge the knee in this shape and notice what kind of sensation you might be getting from the knee joint. And if there's things like discomfort, you know, it's always a practice of discerning what kind of discomfort is tolerable and are you able to breathe and relax into, and what kind of discomfort is just causing more tension, more tightness. One we can lean into and soften into, and one we want to probably avoid. That's really particular to your body. Let's take about 2 more breaths here. And so what I like to do to get out of this shape, especially if you're all the way down on your back, is start to press into my elbows and my hands, lift up a little bit until I'm seated upright, and then roll weight onto my left hip and free my right leg without any weight on it. So I'm just going to stretch both legs forward, kind of wiggle out my legs, get a little blood flow going here. And we'll do that prep on the second side. So our left foot's going to step forward and, nope, just kidding, opposite way. Right foot's going to step forward, left leg's going to go back into that low lunge. Okay, so you just kind of make your way there in your own time. Right foot forward, left leg back. And then again, I recommend curling your left toes under, lifting that left knee, wiggle that left leg back until it's nice and long, then set the left knee down again. So you're really working into the top of the thigh, and then start to add that little bit of a wobble side to side. So adding movement, especially if muscles are colder because they haven't been used. Really important before a static hold. Just get a sense of how this side feels. It might be different, might be similar, just kind of noticing. A couple more breaths here. All right, and then we'll start to press the hips back towards that left knee and lengthen out through the right leg, like you're passing through Ardha Hanuman, half split. And then rolling the sits bones back onto whatever props you've got there behind you. Start to set that up so that the left ankle gets to be flat, top of the foot on the floor. Those toes are pointing back behind you. So the foot's not flexed on that left leg, it's pointed, okay? And I'm not sitting on my heel, I'm sitting inside of the heel, either on a prop or on the floor. I'm gonna start off with a prop, knowing you can always add or remove props as we hold. Just take a moment, if you haven't already gone back, to breathe sitting upright. And then if you are going to go back, you can start to settle back into the hands, the elbows, leaning your weight into maybe the chair or the stool that's behind you. You could also, in place of a chair or stool, pile pillows behind you. You can do this in front of your couch, in front of your bed. So it's just helpful to have something that's not going to move around behind you a lot. If you need to adjust and fidget so that you can become still and find that sense of relaxation in this shape, please take the time to do that. What's your comfort level? What's your discomfort level? And do you need to make any adjustments? Can you breathe? Can you relax, even in the discomfort? And over halfway, if you want to add a layer of intensity, if that feels wise. The breath is going to be your greatest teacher with regard to depth, with regard to discerning what is appropriate for you and your body. Let's take about 2 more breaths here. And then if you're all the way on your back, really slow, make your way up to your elbows and your hands. Start to sit upright. And then to free that left leg, roll your weight to your right hip. And then without any weight on your left, you can start to free that left leg forward. Just take a moment to kind of shake out the legs. You can give yourself a little self massage. This is really good. It's not like I'm really massaging myself, but I'm just running my hands over my legs because this is really good for increasing blood flow to the tissues we just worked. All right, so that's the top of the thighs. Now we're going to work with the hamstrings, and that's going to contribute to the low back tissue, the quadratus lumbarum, and a lot of different ways to set this up. So again, discerning what kind of props you need. I'm going to pull my chair closer. And then whichever leg you want to start with, I'm just going to extend my right leg through the legs of the chair and then pull it up to me. So I'm bending my left knee, sole of the foot's on the inner thigh, and I'm turning my torso towards my chair seat. I'm just going to rest my forearms here. You can kind of just rest your head on the backs of your hands, leaning into this. For some of you, that might be too much height. You can always move this chair out of the way if that's what you're using. You can stack pillows underneath the belly and get a little bit deeper into your fold if you want to. Spend another 3 minutes on each side. Deepen that breath here. So I'm trying to turn my torso over my extended leg. I'm squaring my shoulders and my torso over my extended leg. About halfway through on this side, so if you want to increase any intensity or decrease intensity, just knowing you have about 1.5 minutes left. Let's take one more breath here. And then slowly start to sit upright. And we'll just simply switch legs. So if you're using a chair, all you have to do is extend that opposite leg through the chair legs. Bending the opposite knee. Get yourself close enough that you can, what I recommend with restorative shapes is starting off at least 50% of what you think you could do. So you're really being gentle with the body. You're backing out. Okay, I think I could go all the way to the floor, so I'm not going to. I'm going to start off with 50% of that. I'm going to start off with a chair in front of me. Especially when you're coming into this, maybe you've been sitting all morning and you haven't done much movement, being really gentle. I think it's really easy in our culture to want to get to our destination fast and quickest, and oftentimes that comes, with burnout and injury in so many different ways. So this is your opportunity to take a very different approach, to back out, to go slow, to be gentle, to find that balance. And then about halfway mark, so if you do want to take it in another direction, whether more depth or less depth, just knowing that you have about a minute and a half left. Take one more breath where you are. And then start to sit up out of that shape. All right, so we're going to now come down onto our back. We'll head towards Shavasana. I want to leave us time at the end of our practice to do our breath work and our upright seated meditation. Just so much part of this traditional practice of yoga. Okay, so let's come down to the back, hug the knees into the chest. You might kind of move side to side, roll around in a circle if you want with your knees. Especially since we just worked with the back body, low back and hamstrings. Notice how that tissue is feeling right now. Let's check out the whole hip. So maybe you reach up for the soles of the feet and or backs of the calves or backs of the knees, pulling the knees wide, feet towards the ceiling for happy baby. And again, you can stay here still, or you can kind of move around, rocking side to side. And if there's any other shape you want to take before you head to Shavasana, please feel free. But when you're ready, let's settle down into that last final shape of Shavasana. We'll take a minute here to lengthen out on our backs. Stretching out through the legs, relaxing the shoulder blades underneath the back. Gently tilting your chin towards the chest. Deep breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Just feel the whole weight of the body releasing and relaxing. Maybe placing the hands on the low belly and the rib cage to find a sense of grounding and stabilizing. A sense of connection with yourself. If you'd like to stay longer in Shavasana, please feel free. You can also do the breath work from your back if that's more comfortable. If you'd like to come to an upright seat for pranayama and meditation, start to make your way there. And when you come up to that seat, as always, always remember it's important that you're giving yourself support so that you're not straining the spine, the shoulders, the neck to sit tall, but you're supporting the sits bones. Maybe you're sitting in a chair, so it's comfortable. Invitation to take Jnana Mudra here, index finger and thumbs touching, palms facing down, shoulders shift back over hips, ears shift back over shoulders. If you like, closing the eyes, neutral breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Begin pranayama, counting the breath, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue counting your breath silently on your own in increments of 4. One more round of breath in this way. And now allow your breath to return to normal. No retention, no counting, just equally breathing in and out of the nose. Take a moment here to stack the hands flat against the heart, bow the chin to the chest. Taking a moment to honor your effort and your practice with reverence and gratitude. May you remember that you will always be okay. May you find a light that guides you and keeps you safe. May you have hope, help, and happiness along the way. Namaste, yogis. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and come back again soon. Take care in the meantime.